We all aspire to be great leaders, but in today's business environment, it's becoming much more challenging. Based on my personal experience and research, I believe that mindfulness is an essential tool for effective leadership. Leaders today face a barrage of information from a myriad of sources 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We barely have time to think, to feel, or even to breathe. If a Martian came down to Earth and observed working adults, they would be bewildered by our frantic running from meeting to meeting, our anxiously crossing out tasks from our never-ending to-do list, and our inability to read anything longer than 140 characters. We have ADHD. And how often have you heard someone saying with pride that they are an effective multitasker? It's impossible. We're fooling ourselves. A limiting factor of the brain is its inability to concentrate on two things simultaneously. Think about a meeting that you attended in the last week. How many people showed up with multiple devices? How often did you or others look at those devices? How often did you react and respond to an email impulsively without even thinking about it? Mindfulness, a 25-century-old practice, is the perfect antidote to these modern-day leadership and business challenges. I believe that mindfulness can form the foundation of developing the critical intra- and interpersonal skills to be successful. A widely accepted definition of mindfulness by Dr. John Kabat-Zinn from the University of Massachusetts is the paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Recent research from UCLA showed that executives, as they climb the corporate ladder, the importance of technical skills, as demonstrated by the red line, diminishes, while the importance of self and social skills becomes more important. Let's have a look at some of those self and social skills. How often do you take the time and the space to reflect and become aware of your own values, your own behaviors, and your own patterns, and how they have an impact on the people you work with? Without this understanding, you cannot be an authentic leader. Jim Collins, the author of From Good to Great, identified a discriminating factor of level 5, the best performing leaders, as humility. The intent to focus on other people's success before your own. A fundamental link of trust between a leader and his or her followers. And one of the most critical self-management skills is the ability to create space between a stimulus and a compulsive reaction, and within that space to consider carefully how you want to respond versus simply reacting. Now let's move on to the social domain, where empathy plays a critical role. Empathy is the ability to meet people where they're at, to understand their perspective, their emotions, and to take those into account when making decisions. Again, critical in building trust. Today's organizations and business systems and ecosystems are incredibly complex, matrix, and politicized. Being a socially aware and mindful leader enables you to navigate this complexity while building cohesion across a diverse group of stakeholders. According to Harvard Business Review, the #1 skill that CEOs want to be coached on is conflict resolution. A mindful leader has the capacity to identify a conflict before it spreads like a virus through an organization, to mitigate that risk and to negotiate a solution. Mindful leaders also have the ability to make the invisible the 80% of data, the thoughts, the feelings, the values within themselves and within others to make that data available to make conscious choices. A mindful leader also has the ability to be on the dance floor, to be in the midst of a client meeting, to be dealing with stakeholder engagements, to be dealing with a restructuring, while at the same time elevating their perspective to maintain focus on the long-term business strategy and needs of the organization and its people. With a 10 to 15-minute practice of mindfulness each day, anyone can become a successful leader by developing those critical self and social skills. You can become a leader that is respected, that inspires others, and that others want to follow. So please, let's give mindfulness a try. If you're standing, stand upright. If you're sitting, sit upright. Bring your awareness internally and gently close your eyes for a moment. Draw your attention to your breath. Observe the inhalation, the exhalation. Continue to observe the inhalation, the exhalation. Now come back to the room and gently open your eyes because you have a choice to make. Do you want to be a leader who is mindful or a leader who is mindful? The choice is yours. Thank you.